Hey, what's up, guys? Alright, okay. On my last video, uh, somebody said that I should review the Beach Boys Pet Sounds, and so I'm gonna review that. But also, as you all probably know, Eminem's new album, the Marshall Mathers LP2, just came out. So I couldn't decide which one I want to do. So this is gonna be a double review. Alright, so first I'm gonna review the Beach Boys' classic 1966 album, Pet Sounds. Now, this album is great, This album, it shows like the Beach Boys, like really maturing from their like surf and cars and girl lyrics, and really get into some deep surreal lyrics. Great production by the Beach Boys leader Brian Wilson. This is a really great album with the tracks. Um, Wouldn't it be nice? You still believe in me? That's not me. Don't talk. I'm waiting for the day. Let's go away for a while. Sloop John B. God only knows which is my favorite track. I know there's an answer here today. I wasn't made for these times. Pet Sounds, Caroline. No. This is a really great album. And it's the Beach Boys' masterpiece. A lot of people say it's their masterpiece, and I agree. It's a really great album. With the strings and the instrumentation, something that the Beach Boys hadn't really done up until that point. So I think it's really great. Anyone who's a fan of the Beach Boys, check this out. This is this is their classic album, Pet Sounds. Yeah, so that's that. And now my second review. Now I'm going to review Eminem's new album, the Marshall Mathers LP, which just came out this Tuesday on November 5th. Alright, now this is his 8th studio album, and this is a sequel to his classic 2000 album, the Marshall Mathers LP, which I also did a review on just a few months ago. I just listened to this album, and it is great. The songs I hear is great. On interviews he said that it wasn't a sequel per se, but it's like a revisitation of the themes on the album. Like on the first track, Bad Guy, it's about Stan's little brother Matthew, getting revenge on Eminem, and he uh, brings up some old themes from the first Marshall Mathers LP, like on some of the songs he does, like samples from the first album, like on the song So Far, and there's some really great songs. And what makes this album so great is that this album is produced by two of the greatest producers of all time, Dr. Dre and Rick Rubin. Now, Dr. Dre, who's been Eminem's producer since day one, he's a legend. He's a great hip hop producer, with NWA, Snoop Dogg, Tupac, all of them. He's a great producer. And what also makes this great is the production by legendary producer Rick Rubin. Rick Rubin, he's been in the game for years. He's probably one of the greatest producers in hip hop, and probably in all the music business. He's a great producer. His track record. He produced Run DMC's Raising Hell. He produced the Beastie Boys, License to Ill. He produced LL Cool J. Public Enemy, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Metallica. He just produced Black Sabbath's new album. So he is such a legendary producer. And with producers like Dr. Dre and Rick Rubin, how can you not have a hit album, you know? So, you know, and he puts on puts on his special touch on this album. You know, Rick Rubin, he puts his special touch on this, you know, because he uses his signature rock samples on songs like Rhyme or Reason. You know, he has the Zombies Time of the Season sample. You know, and so far he uses Joe Walsh's Life's Been Good, and on Love Games he has the Game of Love by Wayne Fontana and the Mindbenders, and especially, you know, on Berserk, you know, which is the lead single on the album. Great song, probably like my first or second favorite song on this album. It's a great song, you know. It's kind of like a homage to like all that Beastie Boys old school hip hop stuff, you know, that Rick Rubin did. You know, it uses like um Beastie Beastie Boys samples, you know, when it has that Billy Squire the stroke sample, you know. So it's just a really great song, you know. It's like getting back to the roots of hip hop, you know. Really great song, and Rap God, you know, is great, you know. Eminem talking about, you know, his place in hip hop and how he's a legend. You know, it's a really great song, you know, and song had this album. It has a lot of great guest artists on here, like um, Kendrick Lamar and Rihanna again. You know, so this is a really great album. This is to me, this is probably Eminem's best album since Recovery, or even better, you know. And I think this album will sell more copies than the first Marshall Mathers LP. First Marshall Mathers LP sold like 27 million copies or something. I think it'll probably sell more than that. I hope it will, you know, because it's a great album and all, you know. It's great. You know, here's the album. I got the deluxe edition, which comes with the album plus 5 bonus tracks, you know. So listen, anyone who is an Eminem fan, I recommend you go out and buy this album. It is great. His best album, so his best album so far, and probably the best hip hop album of this year. So any Eminem fans, go out and buy this album. This because 10 years from now, just like the Marshall Mathers LP, this album will be deemed a masterpiece. You know, so please go out and get this album and experience the Marshall Mathers LP2. Thanks, guys.